Hi, it's Guy Arnold from Slow Selling, and this is as short as possible video on daily planning. And I think there's a massive gap in the market. I've searched on YouTube about instructions on how to do a daily plan, and I can't find anything. There's quite a bit on weekly planning, and I would strongly suggest to you a daily plan comes after a weekly plan. So make sure you have a look at our weekly compass plan system, and if you haven't got that, go to our website. There's full details there. There's free tools, free instructions, all on the website and all free to download. No obligation. You have to sign up for anything. So go to the website slow-selling.org and you will see those there for you. So a daily plan is how you manage each day. The weekly plan is the bigger picture, how you manage your roles and goals and make sure you achieve those on an ongoing basis, using the idea of continual improvement, continual development, etc., etc. But going back to the point, when I searched the internet, I can see nothing about daily planning. Yet there are billions of us out there every day going through our days, needing to plan them. And there are, of course, loads and loads of tools to help you plan them. There's all sorts of mobile phones and gadgets and computers and laptops and desktops. And there's even bits of paper. Now, I use a planning system called a Franklin Planner. So if you're interested in that, have a look on the web, Google Franklin Planner. It's a paper-based system. And the reason why I stick to paper is because it's more flexible and I can make it fit to my needs and do exactly what I want it to do, rather than having to fit in with the needs of the person who wrote the program online. But you may not be able to do that. You may have your own system, etc., etc., etc. And the tools and the principles I'm about to show to you will work for any system because they're based on principles, they're common sense, and they apply whichever system you're working. So I think it's well overdue that there's some free information on the web about how to plan your day and execute your day effectively without having to pay a consultant hundreds of pounds in order to go through it with you. So here you can watch this for free, and this is this will help you plan your day. So daily planning. Daily planning is how you get a grip of your day, how you make sure that you stick to what you are trying to do, how you can make sure that you execute in as good a format as possible your plan, and how you can get through to the end of the day and think, yeah, I did a few things that I meant to do. I feel good about my day. I've given it my best shot. I did the relevant planning. I paid the price. And I didn't fall for poor planning, because poor planning presents particularly poor performance. Right. So daily planning. When should you do your daily plan? What does a daily plan look like? What do you do? And how can you do it? What tips have I got for you? So those are three things. Step number one, when to do your daily planning. And this is a really important tip. And so few people know this tip or teach this tip. And the answer to this is when to do it is the night before. Now, why would you do it the night before? And the answer is three reasons. Number one reason, your to-do list, your stuff that's happening is already fresh in your mind. Number two reason, you're at the end of the day and you're calmer and you're going to have a more objective view over what is important and what needs to be done. You've got a better view. Third reason is that by doing it the night before, it massively improves your health and your effectiveness, because not only does it calms you down because you've done your plan, you know where you are, and before you go to sleep, you can tick off the most important item of your plan, which is to do a plan. And also the second reason of that is that while you sleep, your subconscious mind will be looking at your plan, will have the plan in its mind, and you will wake up the next morning with some miraculous answers to some of these issues on your plan. It's absolutely incredible. So doing this plan the night before, either when you've just finished work or just before you turn in for the night, it's phenomenally powerful. If there's one single thing I'll say about daily plan is do it the night before. So that's when. Secondly, what do you do? Well, let's see what you do. Now, what is your daily plan going to look like? What is going to be on the list? Okay. So stuff on the list is going to be stuff from your to-do list from today. That's going to be that's come over. Stuff from goals and plans that are coming into your day. Yeah, and reactive stuff that happens during the day. That's going to be on your list. And so I say to most people with their plan, well, how do you plan your day? What do you do? And most people's answer to that is, well, I do a to-do list. Now, the problem with a to-do list is that everything here goes on it. And just because you're reacting to someone else, maybe that's not the best thing for you to be doing. These goals and plans that you have, do you need to review them before you keep slavishly doing them? And stuff that was on your to-do list today and you didn't get round to doing it, was there a reason why you didn't get round to doing it? Perhaps it shouldn't be on the list. So there's a whole load of stuff that should be on your not to-do list, okay? So to have a to-do list is really, no, I'm looking out the window, I should be looking at you. To have a to-do list is really, is not going to help you, because the key here is to only do the things that are going to help you move things forward, stick to your plans and your goals, and to make sure that you feel at the end of the day that you are getting somewhere on a daily basis. And that's the big issue we have every day. Oh my God, I don't feel I've got anywhere today. I've just been racing around, chasing my tail like Dill the dog, and I've not got anywhere. And that's the biggest issue that most people have on a daily basis, and that's stressful, and it burns you up, and it wrecks your life. So what is going to be in this list? Well, there's going to be a whole load of things in this list. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what's on the list. You know, you can have whatever you want on the list. This list is going to be private to you, but there's going to be a whole load of stuff on this list. And of course, this list can be done on paper, can be done on an electrical device. You know, it can be done whatever's right for you. So this whole, let's say that's your list of things to be done. Now, the first thing to do is to put at the top of your list, number 1, daily plan. Okay? Why is that important to write in? People say I'm very pedantic. It's important to write in because if you don't write it in, you will not take the time to do it properly. You'll just race into whatever's next on your list, okay? And the problem with racing into whatever's next on your list is, are you going to do the most important stuff first? Are you going to be doing this in the right order so at the end of the day you feel like you've got a really good way forward? Or is it just going to happen as and when, and maybe do the easy stuff first, and by 4 o'clock in the afternoon you think, oh my God, I haven't done these major stuff, oh no! And then you're working till midnight to get the stuff done. So we don't want any of that. Okay. So the first thing is, you've got this list and you've written in here, daily plan. This is really important to do. Really important. Please, please, please do it. You can have a look at my planner. It is written in every day and has been for 20 years. Okay? And it's served me like a dream. Hopefully. Anyway, number 1, daily plan. Okay, now what you want to do is other stuff. Is you want to decide its importance. So the most important thing to do is decide how important stuff is before you look at its urgency. There are 2 measures for anything in life. There's importance, I-M-P, importance, and there's urgency, U-R-G, okay? And importance is either high or low, and urgency is either high or low. Now, if we turn that into a nice grid, like all consultants and trainers do, we've got 4 grids. We've got 4 segments. Okay, in the first segment, we'll call it, this is high on importance. Okay, so you need to make sure you know what's important. High on importance and high on urgency. We will call these A tasks, okay, because they are ones, it's high on importance, therefore you want to do it, and it's high on urgency, therefore if it's going to be done at all, it needs to be done pretty soon. Okay, so the A tasks, they're the ones to prioritize, often called crises. The second quadrant is this one here, where it's high on importance, but low on urgency. We'll call those B. Why are they the second most important? So the second most important things, because they're important. They are important. They're high on importance, okay? They may be low on urgency, so no one's going to push you to do this stuff, but they're high on importance, which means they pertain to your roles and goals and are going to help you achieve what you set out to achieve in life. This is absolutely vital, okay? So these B things, these are the ones that normally get missed. They don't get done, and when they don't get done, they become urgent, okay? They normally don't get done when they're not urgent. They normally don't get done. They only wait till they're urgent. You know, I had a friend of mine today said, I can't get time to book my holiday. Oh, we're so busy driving, I don't have time to fill up with petrol. Or I'm so busy sawing the tree down, I don't have time to sharpen the saw. And this stuff happens all the time. I'm so busy doing stuff, I haven't got time to plan. I'm so busy working in my business, I haven't got time to work on it. I'm so busy coping with the stress of every day, I haven't got time to build relationships, etc., etc., etc. So this stuff is very vital. It's number B. It's B. It's the second most important stuff to focus on, and it is vital to do, and it's vital to put time aside to do on a daily basis. That's why they're B's. The third thing is these ones here. These ones are high on urgency but low on importance. Those are C's, okay? And this is often called the quadrant of deception, because the stuff in here deceives you into thinking it's important because it's urgent, okay? So from now on, if someone says to you, this is urgent, what you also want to do is ask a really good open question and find out, is it also important? Or how important is it? Well, how important is it to our goals? How important is it to our results? How important is it to what we agreed we would get done? And of course, the last quadrant here, the quadrant of waste, is called D. It's low on urgency, it's low on importance, you know, excessive time wasting, excessive chit chat, you know, fanning around, getting stuck on Facebook, all this sort of stuff. So this stuff is D stuff, and it's going to be a waste of time for you. So what we've got this daily plan. Okay, this daily plan is about how am I going to make sure that this list I've got here, where's our list? There's our list. How am I going to make sure that that list is put into an order? So the first thing is to look at this whole list of things and say, which of these, or which category do all of these things fit into? Now, the first thing to remember is anything that's a D, we really want to cut out. And any time we were tempted to spend in D, excessive TV watching, excessive Facebook, excessive social media, you know, anything that's excessive and not, you know, your time, you maybe want to start trying to invest that into B. Okay, so we don't do D. With C's, we want to minimize this, okay, because this is stuff that's maybe important to others, but not necessarily, it isn't important to us, low on importance to us. And we want to make sure that we've got our time allocated mainly to A's and B's. And the idea is to live north of the line. Live north of the line. Okay. So, you know, our daily plan, is it important? Yes. Is it urgent? Yes. Because what happens if we don't do it till the end of the day? No point in doing it at all. Therefore, it's an A. So we now know that 1A is our daily plan. Let's say there's a few other things here. Another A there, another A there, and a B there, and a B there, and a B, and then a C, and a C, and another B, and a C. Okay? So now we've got, it's all been categorized. So we've got a bit of order now. But it's still a bit confusing. Where are we going to start? Well, we're going to start with our daily plan because that's 1A. Well, what's the next A? Well, let's look through it. Let's take 5 minutes or 2 minutes just to look through this and go, that's number 2. That's number 3. That's number 1B. That's number 2B, number 3B, number 4B. Okay, fantastic. Notice we are not numbering the C's, because C's being urgent but not important, we might want to be choosing to do them because we value the relationship with the other person, but they're not important to our tasks and goals, and therefore they were going to fit around the other stuff. We're going to fit them in downtimes, we're going to fit them in between meetings, we're going to fit them in when we've got 10 minutes free here and there. So these C's are things that you fit in. Okay. So we've done, what's happened, we've taken 2 minutes, we've written our list, we've put A's, B's and C's, we've put 1, 2, 3, 4s, and that's what we do. And by doing that, the night before, we've done the first and most important task of our list. It has happened. So, where are we? Okay. This next day, we're back at work, and this is what we got. Where are we going to start? We're going to start at 2A. Maybe you've got half an hour free at the beginning of the day, and you can get 2A done, you can tick it off. And then, of course, you're probably going to go to maybe 3A, but you've only got one more A, so you may well say, actually, I'll start on a B, get a bit of time on a B. I don't know. It's up to you. It's your choice. It's your plan. It's your day. It's your life. But let's say we get started on 1B then. We decide to do that next, and then we get an interruption. It's a phone call. It's someone coming to us, or whatever. It is not an email. It is not a text. It is not a Facebook message or whatever. Why isn't it one of those things? Because we're going to turn those off. If those are not part of our standard job role, my strong advice to you is turn them off. And then you can just turn them on. They're a task in themselves. Let's say 2B is do your email. Or you may want to say, I'll do my email at 10 a.m., 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. I'll look at it then, or my text or whatever. But at other times, turn it off. Why do you turn it off? Because interruptions waste your time. They distract you. They take you off task. They absolutely ruin your day. Distractions ruin your day. So this is a genuine interruption. We're on 1B. We've been interrupted, and we then put a little dot there. Why do we put a dot there? And the answer is because that will, when we come back to our plan, we're not going to get lost. We're going to see, we were here, and then we can carry on with this task. It's so easy to get lost. It's so easy for the brain to get distracted. So we don't want to do that. We want to be in control of this plan. It's our plan. It's our life. So the distraction comes in. What are we going to do first of all? First thing we're going to do is we're going to write it down. Okay? What's the second thing we're going to do? Second thing we're going to do is we're going to categorize it. Is it an A, B, or C? If it's an A, we may want to say, well, tell you what, I'll just finish this and then I'll get on to it. Maybe it's more important than that A. Maybe it's a 3A, and that's a 3A. So we've now got two 3As. It's a 3-1A, and that's a 3-2A. Maybe it's a 4A. Okay, don't know. What about if it's a B? Okay, what are we going to do then? Well, we're going to say, great, okay, I've got that. Can you help me with this, that, and the other? And I should be able to get that finished by 4 o'clock this afternoon, by 3 p.m. next Thursday. Whatever it is, schedule it, give them a timescale, stick to it, and make sure then you schedule it forward for the time that you promised it to the other person. Because there's nothing worse than letting someone else down with something you promised them time-wise. Even if you just get back to them and say, look, I promised you this by Thursday, 4 p.m. I tell you, I haven't done it, but I did promise to get back to you. So I'm getting back to you to tell you I haven't done it and to tell you when I will have done it by. And then you've turned a crisis into an opportunity for excellence. The other person will trust you more because they know you care, they know you're on the ball, they know you're smart, and you can move it forward at your own pace. Okay? So that's that. So maybe a B, and maybe whatever it is, 4B, or maybe a 1B. Okay, so that'd be 1B because we're in the middle of it, and now 1-2B. Okay, or it may be a C, in which case we probably say to them, okay, well leave that with me, I'll fit that in within the next week. Or even with a C, probably the best thing to do, rather than you taking it on board, it's like taking someone else's monkey onto your shoulders. Even the better thing to do there is say, okay, well, what have you done about it? Or who else have you talked to about it? Or what things do you think you could do about it? Or what are your next steps? Or how are you going to take that forward? You bounced it back at them. The best one here is to bounce it back to them to take ownership of this. Because it's not important to you. We know it isn't because we've classified it as a C. It's not important to you. You want to bounce it away and build the relationship. Building the relationship as an A or a B, depending on how critical the relationship is. But bouncing it back to them is the best thing, or bouncing it to someone else. Say, I'll tell you who you need to speak to about that. What you need to do is go and see so-and-so, 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 or whatever, or phone so-and-so. So the best thing for a C, rather than have to put it on your diary, is to write it down and then tick it straight away by responding really effectively to how you've dealt with it. So there you are. You then you get back to your B, you finish that one off, you're off to your next B, 1-2B, you're on that one, you finish that one off. Same thing applies. These come in as you go through the day. You then you want to get your A's finished, you're now on to your A's, you have that one done, and you got that one done, and maybe then you're just on to number 3B, and you're there. And it's the end of the day. Okay, you've done maybe a couple of C's as well, because you fit them in, if there's a lot, fit them in. So at the end of the day, you've done about 3/4 of your plan, you've got the beginning of your plan for the next day, you're feeling good, you've stuck to your plan, you've prioritized your time, you've made sure that interruptions don't push you off course. You're in control of your time, and if you're in control of your time, you're in control of your life. So daily planning, it's a massively underrated skill. It's served me well for over 20 years. There's no point in me changing it anymore. It has done. If you'd like some personal training on it, give us a shout. If you'd like some personal coaching by phone, give us a shout. We can do this for you. It's so important to do this right. There are no shortcuts. There is no snake oil here. There is no quick fixes. Daily planning is about getting your own life in order and being really pedantic about it. Which brings me to the last point. The last point is, how do we do it? Okay, the first thing there's four things to say here. Four things. Number one is be pedantic. Be pedantic. Number one, be pedantic. Use the A's, B's and C's. Use the 1s, 2s and 3s. Write stuff down. Try and bounce the C's away. Prioritize the B's and make sure that you put the A's in to be done relatively quickly. You're in control of your time. You can only control your time if you are pedantic about this time, because people and things and events will try and steal your time all the time. The thief of time is always out to get you. So be really pedantic. People say, really, really pedantic about that guy. I say, yes, I am, and it's served me really well. Number two is make sure you get some uninterrupted time. You know, these B's in particular will need uninterrupted time. Maybe some of the A's are big projects as well that you've left to the last minute. You know, but the uninterrupted time. So build into your time schedule, your diary, whatever it is, build it into chunks of uninterrupted time, maybe an hour here, 2 hours there. And this is time that we would call time that I cannot be disturbed unless the building is on fire, okay? So uninterrupted time is massively important. And depending on your role, you may need more of it than other roles. But uninterrupted time to think, to work on projects, to build ideas, to build relationships on your terms or whatever, to do stuff that's deep and needs some real thinking, uninterrupted time. Build it in as the most important chunk of time. It's more important than a meeting with your most important customer. Your uninterrupted time to help you grow, develop and work on yourself and on your business. Number three, chunk and schedule large tasks. So, you know, this B here might be a chunk and schedule, you know, maybe a big task. Not that one, because that's email. This B here may be a big task. I say maybe big. You have this big task. You can have a task on a separate page, okay, and you can have then steps. Okay, steps to do blah 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 blah, and then you schedule them in. Schedule is a chunk, and schedule big tasks into smaller steps, and then put them in as their own tasks into your daily plan. And therefore, big projects don't seem scary. You know what you're doing, you know where you are, you can track progress on this as you go, and life becomes so much easier, and you never need to procrastinate, and you're always on top of it, you know where you are all the time. And it really does work. That's why I'm recording this bloody video, so to give all this information away, because it works, and people need to know this, because so few people know this, and so few people do this well, and there's frustration, there's stress, and there's problems all around, because people don't know this stuff. Lastly, number 4, last tip of how to do it, be reliable to other people so that they respect you and your timescale. You know, you can only be respected by them to be left alone in your scheduled time, to say, yes, fair enough, if you say, you know, go and speak to someone else, or I'll come back to you next Thursday. You can only do that if you are a reliable person yourself to them. If they see you as reliable and trustworthy, they're just going to go, yeah, fair enough, guy, no problem, I'll do that, or I'll wait for you, or, yep, I'll look forward to hearing from that. So the key thing is to make sure you're always reliable to other people. Even if you haven't completed the task, you need to get back to them on time. And that's absolutely vital. In order for them to respect your plan and your schedules and what you want them to do in order to fit in with your plan, you must be a reliable and trustworthy person in your actions to them. So there you have it, daily planning. I hope that's helpful. Be pedantic, work on it. Give us a call if you need some help. It's vitally important. Please share this with everyone. This gives you the whole idea. There's no need to come to anyone like me for coaching and training. It's all here. But if you want your coaching and training, you know where to get hold of me. Thanks very much for watching. On my website is slow-selling.org, where we help owners and leaders of independent businesses put in place simple, powerful systems to become more effective and get better results with less effort, and always stick to principles. Thanks again for watching. Best of luck with your daily plan. Go for it.